Kidd Kraddick in the morning.
The Showbiz Top 5.
Hey, it's Kellie Rasberry with your Showbiz Top 5 for Monday, or Tuesday. Gosh, we have Monday off. It's Tuesday, January the 19th. Behind the scenes drama on MTV's Teen Mom. One of the teen moms, Farrah, and her mom, Deborah Danielson, got into a fight last Saturday. Now, apparently they were having an argument over child care issues. Apparently Grandma was feeling a little saddled down with the grandkid. I don't know exactly what happened there. But Deborah threw an MTV t-shirt at her daughter, missed, and it either landed on or near the baby. And that's when the fight escalated. Teen mom Farrah says that her mom grabbed her by the throat. Farrah pushed her mom away, and that's when mom socked her upside the head and smacked her in the mouth and caused her to have some cuts there that bled. And you know how mouth cuts are, they bleed pretty badly. So the police were called, and Deborah was arrested for domestic abuse, serious assault, and she was released on her own recognizance. Now, there is a nationwide casting call going on for movie extras for the next Twilight movie, Breaking Dawn. You don't have to have any experience, and I looked it up on the website, and it said it is a paid gig, but I don't know exactly how much is involved. And also, being an extra, you don't know. You might be in a cafeteria scene with nobody, or you might be standing next to Robert Pattinson. It's just one of those hit or miss things. The deadline to apply is January 30th, so if this is interesting to you, go to the website. It is talenthunter.com, talenthunter.com. And there's also all sorts of things on there. You just type in the state where you live, and it'll tell you what's happening locally. Just for example, I saw where like a band was looking for a drummer. There were some rappers needed. There were some contestants for a game show they were looking for. So a lot of things on there in addition to the Breaking Dawn audition for extras. Now, some paparazzi were snapping away at Lindsay Lohan and her mom Dina as they were heading into a pre-party for the Golden Globes Awards. And you couldn't help but notice a fresh cut along Lindsay's arm towards her wrist. And a source says Lindsay has been cutting herself since last year, and they question why her mom is out partying with her in Hollywood rather than getting her the help she obviously needs. Tiger Woods reportedly is receiving inpatient treatment for his sex addiction at a clinic in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And the TV stations there are reporting it like it's, you know, it is fact, although of course the clinic is not going to release any information about that. But suddenly they've had some extra precautions taken so you can't get a peek inside. There's a wooden fence surrounding the property, and now a black tarp is lining the fence to prevent anyone from peeking through the slats. And there are also cottages on the property that the people being treated live in, and then you walk to the main building for therapy. Well, now they've built this walkway connecting the cottages to the main building and a side entrance, and that's also lined with wood, a fence, so you can't see who's passing through. So it does look like Tiger's in this facility. And Radar Online is reporting exclusively that Tiger has every intention of getting back to work as soon as he's done with his rehab, which is supposed to take him through mid-February. In fact, they expect him to start golfing again with the PGA Tour this spring, although they're not really quite certain he'll be taking part in the Masters, a really high-profile golf tournament that begins April 5th. Jay Leno finally told his side of the story during his primetime show last night, and it kind of made me feel a little bit more sympathetic to his side. He says back in 2004, NBC came to him and said, look, we're getting kind of nervous that Conan O'Brien's going to be stolen away by a rival network, so we want to offer him the Tonight Show gig in 2009, 5 years from now. And Jay says, but you know, I've been number one for 12 years. Why would you take the show away from me? And they said, well, we don't think you can sustain that for another 5 years or longer. So this is what we want to do. So Jay said, fine, you know what? When it comes time for me to pass the torch to Conan, just let me retire. I'll just walk away, release me from my contract. But then they came back to him with this offer for his own primetime show. And Jay was thinking it would be a good opportunity for him to keep his employees that have worked with him for so many years, you know, on the payroll. So he says he accepted the gig. But then when everybody started tanking and all the ratings were declining all over the place, he was under the impression that Conan was cool with the idea of Jay taking that 30-minute time slot right after the local evening news and Conan coming on after that. Jay was under the impression, he says, that Conan was cool with that. Well, obviously Conan was not and said he's walking. And so then Jay says, well, they offered me the Tonight Show back, and it's not like Conan's being forced out. They offered him the Tonight Show gig, although 30 minutes later, so he's leaving of his own accord, so I'm going to take it because it was offered to me. Does that make it any more clearer or a lot more foggier for you? And who are you siding with? I mean, I'm a little bit more sympathetic to Jay Leno's side than I was at the beginning, I'll tell you that much, but still Team Coco over here. And that's your Showbiz Top 5 for Tuesday.